Welcome everyone to Posh podcast. I'm here with my beautiful co-hosts, my gorgeous daughter Marcella.
Hello.
And adorable Whitley, my son's amazing girlfriend.
Hi.
And we welcome back Valerie Wilhelm. Thank you for being with us again.
Thank you. Hello.
We love having you, Valerie, and we would like to tell everyone to please share this podcast with your friends and follow us, subscribe to us. And when we have Valerie on, we want to always remind everyone to go back and listen to our episode 6, which is absolutely hilarious, actually.
When we were talking about our favorite episodes, I was like, I think the one where we called 1-800-WET FART.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I laughed.
So funny.
And that is episode 6. And every time we listen, we laugh all over again.
Best.
That was sick.
God. That's like the best sound bite
It is.
yet.
Yep. And then 7, it got heavy.
And
Yes.
8 and 9. And some of it is heavy, but it is the truth. And it's something that you need to listen to and share with your friends and follow Valerie. It's very important. So this is now episode 41. Very excited about all that. And I wanted to touch a little bit on this last week where I was so freaked out with all these suicides that happened. Like, I mean, when we got here the Tuesday, it was Kate Spade literally like on our way here. And she committed suicide by hanging, and she leaves behind a 13-year-old daughter, and she left a suicide note that just said, basically, she loved her and just asked daddy, which is, I mean, mind-boggling to me that you could do that no matter how bad things get.
Did y'all see later that the husband was like, I have yet to see a note, and I can't believe the media released something that was meant for our daughter? I was like, what? Like, what is happening?
You just can't believe any. I don't know. You never know.
It's
you
weird.
never know. But and then Anthony, I don't know how
Bourdain.
to say Bourdain. And he committed suicide by hanging as well, and he leaves behind an 11-year-old daughter. And her mom actually posted her performing at a concert a couple of days ago, and she said that she was so brave and she was wearing the boots that her dad bought her.
Oh, that's so sad.
And she was singing, so she must be a singer. And I mean, so sad to do that. I'm sorry. I'm very strong about it, that I understand people have issues and illnesses and all that, but
I don't get it. I mean, y'all know Jeff. I
was getting to that, and then there was
I don't get the
princess
hanging.
for that. There was the Queen of Netherlands' sister at age 33 also committed suicide by hanging.
Avicii.
Avicii, yeah, that was a few weeks ago, right?
Not
2 months ago? No.
It was not that long ago.
Actually, his funeral just happened.
Yeah,
Did he hang himself too?
No, he cut him. They said, I read either slit his wrist or his neck.
Oh, yeah. That's
with a broken glass or something. I had read that, so I'm not sure which one. But that's 4 people in a very...
Yeah, and I mean, I have said it before. My grandfather committed suicide by hanging when I was 18, and it's affected my life. And Valerie's husband, Jeff, committed suicide by hanging.
And I recently just read the autopsy, and that was crazy to read.
Do you want to share? I read or not?
Sure. I mean, y'all know I'm an open book. It's just, it's crazy how, I mean, this whole time I've wondered what went through his head, why hanging, he was completely stone cold sober. So I think he had 2 beers.
Crazier.
I think there were like 2 beers in his system. Yeah, it's crazy. Apparently, I guess I've learned over the years, I guess they have certain door handles in hotels now, so a lot of people were hanging themselves by the door knob like this.
So that's how Kate Spade did it, and I don't understand how that works. Like, I'm not trying to tell people how it works.
I think what they do
confusing.
is they get, from what I understand from Jeff's autopsy, it sounds like it's probably the same as what Kate Spade, and I guess they look it up on how to do it. But so he was hanging in a closet. But if you think about where a closet rod would be, I think they get like on their knees and you can lean forward until you can cut off that circulation that you pass out. And so when you pass out, then you're hanging forward. Does that make sense?
But wouldn't your body, like, I thought, like, I had heard, like, you can't physically drown your own self. Like, because eventually I thought your body, like, on reflex would, like, when you start
Try to stop it.
Yeah.
But I think that with your throat, it's very, very sensitive. So if you do a certain movement, possibly, it might be really fast. I don't know. It's crazy. It is.
And I
sad.
thought if you jump off of something and hang yourself, you're breaking your neck first. Correct?
Sometimes.
I don't know. We had a friend from high school recently. She jumped off a balcony in New York and committed suicide. Yeah.
don't
Like
understand.
That was a friend?
a
is
girl
that
that
the-
we grew up in high school. She was a year or two older than me, a year younger than my brother, I
gosh.
think. But yeah, I was like, what? Like, you just.
I mean, Deborah Messing actually shared her story, and it's a hashtag now. It's like the Me Too movement. It's a hashtag called My Story. And it's actually been trending. And she said depression must be destigmatized. She said those suffering need affordable, accessible mental health services. And if we want to address hashtag gun violence, we must also make mental health a priority in our country.
Yes.
If you feel alone, read the My Story thread. You are seen. Basically, they tell you to speak about it. I kind of researched it a little bit because obviously I was touched with it in my life, and it's been very difficult to deal with. Don't know you, Valerie, when you go through it, it's in my head all the time. I mean, all the time. When someone gets, I mean, it's so bad for me that if someone has a fight with me, this is like, I know this sounds probably crazy. I'm like, oh my God, we had a fight. Is he or she going to kill himself? And I'll never speak to them again. Like that actually goes through my head every time. I'm not lying. This is what has happened to me since I was 18. Maybe that's why I don't like to fight, because it stresses me out so bad, because that's all I can think about.
Like,
And then if I don't
yeah.
hear from that person, I'm like, so now we had a fight. Now, I don't know. He drove off. She drove off. Are they going to
I
kill
think
themselves?
like that too, though.
I do too.
So
Yeah.
Without
crazy.
even
Yeah.
having, I think when people are depressed, well, and I know, I liked what Johnny Wimbrey said too.
They're making a permanent decision in a temporary situation. Yeah.
And I think I feel so bad because I know that life gets really, which we'll kind of go into that too on accident, but life is very, very difficult. And I feel
Yes.
like all of us are just trying to like make it.
Right.
And I know like there's like those hopelessness feelings. And I know I've been in dark, dark places before, but I don't know like what actually goes through your mind to actually like do it.
And so I actually researched something.
Well, you know, I
And-
mean, I actually did it. I told you all about that in the one
Yes.
podcast.
Yes.
And this is, I feel like I'm talking about this because I felt like this was so important. I found this by researching it, and the Columbia, what is it called? It's a Columbia suicide prevention question. And you can actually download this.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that, it made me feel a little bit better, because I feel like it showed me more of, and I am not an expert at all. I don't know. I can only say what I find and what I read and what I figure out. And this test, you're supposed, if you're worried about someone, you can actually ask them these questions.
Oh,
And
really?
It's a Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale,
Whoa.
which when I read it, I was like, wow. And it showed me how unbelievably hurting those people have to be to do these things. Like these things that if you're actually checking them
Mm-hmm.
and really looking at this, you kind of go, wow, okay, not everyone is going to commit suicide. Like
Right.
I was like, okay, maybe I can take a breath. Like these questions, and these have been like, these are not questions someone wrote. These are actually from Columbia University. Like these have been, I mean, done with health professionals and everything else. So it talks about the intensity. Have people tried it before? How often? Like, what are you feeling? And
Mhm.
all these things. So if you're worried about a loved one,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, please download this. Go, like maybe do your own check marks. Like, how do you feel about that? Ask them to do this with you, or to do it with a healthcare professional to really get to the bottom of it. I mean,
Well,
I
that's
was
great.
very
And I
amazed
think
by
when
it.
you get to feeling that way, I mean, I told y'all how down and out and how hard the last several weeks have been since about the second week in May. And I got sick really bad there for a week also, was literally on the couch. And I'm still congested and coughing and hacking, but I got very
Hacking. Valerie, you're way too beautiful to say that word.
hacking.
Of course.
I've been hacking. Remember, I'm a little redneck. Okay. Little classy, little ghetto, little redneck. So anyway, I mean, I think that people are ashamed. I think people need to feel more comfortable in calling the people that they trust and support, not to flip a wig on them and be like, oh, I'm calling and having you checked on. Well, to cause even more trouble in your life.
Yeah.
Because I felt comfortable enough I told a few people in the middle of May, I was like, I'm suicidal. Like, I've gotten so depressed and so down and out that I'm so upset. Like, you get to a point with like probate court that I got pushed in the corner and I was finding out so much horrible stuff that I was thinking, well, it would just be better if I just weren't here, because then they'd have nobody to fight.
You didn't call me.
Well, I spoke to my dad, I spoke to someone else, but a lot of the reaction is, well, I'm going to call and have, CPS, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. And I'm like, hold on. I'm like, stop. You're making it worse for me now. I'm telling you, these are my thoughts and my feelings. Now, the reality is I don't really want to do it, but I'm just telling you, like, that's how beat down I am.
You're not on a way out. Well, I think.
Right. Like, you need to be able to talk about it. I mean, we can't shame these people that.
And it's like a dirty secret. And
yeah,
there's a stigma attached to it.
Right.
And I think the assumption is that people that are feeling this way see, and now I'm almost like,
it's like you're a bad person.
But you did post it, and then I'm like going, why didn't I call you?
Mm-hmm.
I should have called you.
Well, that was just about to say, Katie, my best friend, posted on her story when the Anthony Bourdain thing, like a day later, and said that coming, because she has battled anxiety and depression, and anxiety is really tough too. We're big anxiety people, and she said it was I wish she had it still, but it was on her story, but it was along the lines of, if you're not hearing from someone, and if you are like, well, I guess they just don't care about me, it's like, well, why don't you try to be the one to reach out? Because most people are like battling their own thing on their own, and maybe things are too hard or things just get really bad, so maybe you need to be the one to say, hey, is everything okay? Like,
ask the right questions.
Ask the right questions.
Yeah.
Bang down the door and be like, hey, I know things have been tough for you. Or, I mean, I wish that some people that I know would have done that with me.
Well, it's like we talked
studio.
about with when I was going through my deal, how the moms weren't supportive at the beginning. It wasn't like, hey, what kid? It was like, oh, talk about her.
Well, yeah. I guess I wish that
but with you, right?
Well, I wish that some people had been, instead of like, ugh, you're so difficult to like get a hold of. It's like, well, wow, maybe you should ask, like, am I okay? I just had this massive life change, or the get over it. Like, oh my God, just get over it already. And you're like, I'm really trying, and I'm putting a smile on my face, and I'm trying to move forward. But sometimes there's things that we're feeling that are sometimes really difficult.
Have a right. You have a right to your feelings. You have a right to own that and to sort through that. I mean,
and when you lose a business, and especially a business where you're so emotionally invested, it's like a death. And it takes a long time to get over, especially how Marcella was. I mean, she didn't have anything else. It's not like that. That business was her life. It was like her child, her life, her everything. So then when it was gone, and no, actually all the opposite happened. Like, people almost got meaner. Yeah, instead of being more understanding. But
it was awesome. Thanks.
Well, it's like me with probate court. It's like you're in a hamster wheel, and it just keeps. I just keep running and running. Finally, it's the best analogy. I mean, it's like a boxer. Like, at some point, they don't come out of the corner anymore. At some point, they get knocked down, and it's like you just keep coming out and keep coming out. And I'm just like, what gives? Like, when's it gonna give? And it's like I told my dad. I said, it's not like I really want to do it. I'm just thinking, wouldn't it just be better if I weren't? Like, that's the point that I got to. But the answer is no. I mean, look, I'm here. Like,
thank God.
I mean, but people don't have the tools that I have in order to.
And maybe not the people in their life that they can go to. Or, honestly, this Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale, I feel like is so important. People download it, look it up, ask your friends. Like, I want to do it with you.
Yeah, later. I want to do it.
I want to do this with you because I think it's important, and I think it puts a reality on how bad is it really? Is it a bad day? You know, are you PMS? Are you?
I am right now. I want to die.
Yeah,
well, and like what I did so the garage sale was finished. All of her stuff got out of there. I just looked at myself in the mirror on Sunday and I was like, go get your nails cleaned up, go get a pedicure,
and there you
go
are.
get a full body massage right now, get your freaking lashes back on, get your shit back together.
And don't you feel beautiful today?
And now I feel great. And I haven't been to CrossFit in about 2 weeks. I'll have my ass in there tomorrow.
But it's like mental health.
I know. Yeah, that's
health.
just it. But see, I have the stool, the tool. I don't know what kind of stools, but not those kind of stools.
Gino
Not
will
step
laugh.
up
This is
stools,
like
not even
poop.
poop stools. I don't know. I got the stools to get myself through it.
Can you
I don't
get
even
Gino
know.
dying laughing
Yeah.
about this?
That's like Lola the other day. She wanted me to cut her wee wee, and I was like, "You cannot tell me to cut your wee wee like that."
A what?
Her kiwi. She kept begging me to cut her kiwi. I don't know why I got on that, but I was like, "You cannot tell me to cut your wee wee like that." The way she was talking to me, and I was like, "Wee wee, where are your wee wee?" But anyway, yeah, let's go.
So-
Shoot, go.
Okay, so
Stay on track.
someone
stay on track.
posted something on Facebook that.
Well, hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm going to read it because
ahead.
I had said that because we're going to talk about what happened in a minute
Yes.
with Jolie and a party and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
With me also, which I so
Me
not
too.
okay with. Yes. And so I had said I think it's interesting. And then this post came out,
Right.
but I was talking about it, that we're all about like suicide prevention and look at and doing all those things. And I said, well, it takes 1 minute to like be kind to someone and change their life. Like I've always said, like practice human kindness, just be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through. So one nice gesture can change their life. The same is for the opposite. And I find it very hypocritical of certain people who want to preach, but then they'll turn around and be the nastiest to other people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it takes in the same token, it takes 1 second for you to maybe say one hurtful thing, that last straw that maybe could have made someone take their own life, put someone in a downward spiral of more depression, or make them feel worthless and even more sad. So, and I don't think people think about that stuff.
Yeah.
And when I couldn't figure out a way to explain it
I
correctly.
have such a cool story to tell you in a little
writing.
while.
Yeah.
But Marcella
in
called
relation
me
to
and
that.
said all that.
I did.
then-
And then somebody posted and said, you can post suicide prevention phone numbers all you want. But if you really want to prevent depression, suicide, self-harm, stop being such assholes to each other online and in real life. Hashtag mouth shut, ears open. Hashtag be the change. Which I feel like is exactly what I'm saying. Like, and then the people who hide behind their computer and who are nasty on social media. Nothing will happen. You're just making it worse, but everyone wants to talk about it in the moment,
Yeah.
but then we'll still be assholes to each other. And I don't ever understand that, because I don't like hurting people's feelings. Never. I don't like hurting people on purpose. And I feel like people just love it. Like,
Some
it's
people
sickening.
truly love
So-
it. And I want to just lead this, because from where this goes, this leads me directly to what happened a couple of days ago. And we really kind of swear that we are not going to dance talk that much
what
anymore.
keeps coming?
But there's always stuff that keeps coming up. And
Never ending.
naturally, it just, like, for some reason keeps coming up in the worst way. And just because we said we're not going to talk about it, when something this big comes up, we are going to talk about it, because it's important in other areas of, just because this happened in the dance world doesn't mean it doesn't happen anywhere else. We're just using it as an example. And we had a situation that happened on Sunday, and I guess, Marcella, you woke up to a message, correct?
Yes, I got a good morning message, and then
Good morning.
yeah, and it was,
Good morning.
what are you doing today? And I was like, well, nothing really. I mean,
Yeah.
Sunday, I actually have a day off, so I don't know. Oh, I have an awkward question. And I was like,
Oh God.
okay. So all
start.
the dancers, I got a text from a mom. They're having a going away party for me. They said they were going to handle the whole thing, but I didn't know if they had reached out to you and your mom.
This is about a former teacher of our dance studio, Prestige, that we
saw a post
that
and
we
was
had, And
the emoji, the new one.
So this is the text
Oh, yeah.
Marcella gets.
From my friend, because she's moving, and it was like, and somebody that we had hired, all these kids know this person because of me, and I was like, nope, sure didn't get a text about that.
Was Jolie invited? Nope.
Nope.
Was Gabrielle invited? Nope.
Right. And so then I immediately.
That's so funny. As soon as I saw the post, my vibe, like my empath, I know, crazy. I don't like to hear about it. I'm sorry. I looked at that picture and I was like,
Something doesn't feel right, and you don't even know the
Whoa,
whole story.
all of this
Yeah.
is.
So I said, I immediately, like, my initial reaction from waking up was like, I started crying because I was like, oh, awesome. Like, I, first of all, didn't know why I wouldn't be invited, and I didn't know that we even had a problem. And then my next reaction was, okay, maybe I'm overreacting, and maybe it's just two people who want to say goodbye to her, and maybe it's not this party, and I'm just thinking,
No,
overthinking.
it's all the same people that always wanted to leave Lucienne out. So no,
And
we're
Jolie.
good. Yeah, we're good.
So later on, I'm in the pool, and I get a text from my mom, and it's like, wow, there's a post all over social media and stories, and it's
Well, what happened though is I knew about it. Marcella told me, and I was like, ugh. I kind of was dreading what was gonna come, but I didn't know how bad it was gonna be. And next thing I know, Jolie comes in my office and she goes, "Mom, did you know about this?" And she showed me a picture of her whole, basically almost her whole group
except for
of dancers, that she danced with for years.
Yep.
And they were all
saw
at this party. And Lucy, Kennedy, Emma,
Jolie.
and Jolie, 4 of them that danced together as a group for years, were left out, not invited, and now had to see these posts.
I didn't show Lucienne, but I saw it. Yeah.
Well, Jolie came to me because she saw it, and I will never forget the pain in her eyes.
Yeah.
Combined for me with her, I knew she was hurting. And I'm thinking to myself, and then I found out that it was a mom that put all this together. And the interesting part is that these people at this point, like we have talked about another situation when Prestige closed, where there was another group of people that were super angry and hateful, and they left everybody out of everything and stabbed everyone in the back. But that's a different story. This group of people, I had no idea we had a problem with. I had
didn't
no
either.
idea that there was anything wrong.
But I literally
Wait, where y'all been?
No, but I was
Where y'all been?
literally honestly, I'm not even joking when I tell you the group of girls in that picture were the same people I was literally about to send a text to and say, hey, miss you guys, hope you're having a great summer. I'm mentally capable now. I had to have some healing from what had happened, but I'm available if you would like privates,
solos.
if you want solos, if you want your Booker T audition. I mean, I was literally about to text those people. So to my knowledge, I had no idea. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that we had a problem, and now I feel like we do have a problem. And I'm like, if it has anything to do with what we've talked about here, I have made it so clear that it wasn't everybody, every dance mom that has been bad, that I actually felt like saying it was the people in those pictures that were actually great and super supportive of me the whole time. And now my best friend who's supposed to be moving, you guys have a party, but you don't, like, why wouldn't you want to see me? That would be the perfect time.
Yeah.
But you clearly don't care at all.
No, but you on purpose left us out. So here is this. Jolie's 14. Jolie had just in the days before this started making plans to get together with these people and get together over the summer and do stuff with it. And she said, Mom, I cannot keep quiet. I'm going to post something. And I go, you know what? If that makes you feel better, go right ahead. Like that day, she did not even eat lunch. I think her stomach hurt so bad. Like she was really, really, really hurt. And she posted, I'm going to read what she posted. And she said, it's just great when you see that your old team throw a party for your teacher and weren't even invited, even though I danced with my team for 3+ years and danced with my teacher for 7+. Thanks everyone for not inviting me. # mean girls. She then goes on. It honestly boggles my mind to think that these people who called themselves my friends would leave me out of everything they possibly could. It hurt my feelings so much in the past, and honestly, I'm so over every fake person saying they're my friend and then they turn on me completely. I've tried to be civil and kind, but that's it. I won't sit and be quiet when people are treating me this way. I'm done with the drama that these people possess and their bad spirits. I will not be controlled by people and not stand up for myself any longer. To all the people who left me out of saying goodbye to my amazing old teacher, that is honestly one of the meanest things you could have done. And then she said, I don't care if it wasn't even your plan. You were still a part of it and you could have invited me. So every one of these people were a part of this, and it was not nice at all. All I tried to be was kind, and all I did was apologize for things sometimes that I didn't even do because I don't like drama, and now I'm finished. From stupid fights over breadsticks and to ditching me, leaving me out of everything, I can truly say that this is one of the worst things you have ever done to me, and it really showed your true colors. I know Lucy was always left out. I know that, I mean, I don't understand, I never will, why an adult would do something like that on purpose. I really don't. I don't understand how you can feel okay about yourself.
All I can tell you is this is a God plan thing, because it's so interesting that this is what we're talking about. Literally 2 or 3 weeks ago, Lucy finally started admitting to me her real feelings of the past on how she was always left out.
So did Jolie.
Because I used to try to I used to be like, baby, we don't have to stay here. You don't have to dance here. No. Like she admitted, she said, you know, it's funny when I finally started, she always says to Lillian and Lola, you really care about something, you'll start putting in the work. And when you start putting in the work, you'll start seeing how good you are and the results. She said, for me with dance, when I really started caring and loving it and seeing that I could be good and then found out my flexibility, that's when I started having the passion for it. She said, and those people didn't like me until then.
Right. Of course not.
And I said, you're exactly right. That literally was a conversation we had about 2 weeks ago. And I said, you know, I love everything you're telling me, but mostly I'm proud that you're just admitting to me finally that your feelings of how you genuinely felt about being left out. Because as a mother, I was witnessing it.
But look at it, though. This is 13, 14 years old girls that this is being done to by adults, guys.
They're promoting it.
But people were saying, like, making fun of Jolie. This is my sister. And they're like, oh, God, you have to be in a group with her. Like, it was, like, just mean.
And I'm going to speak up. And I know this is not going to be a favorite thing, but this person that went to this event that it was for, I understand that this is a great thing for you and makes you feel really cool. It makes you feel great. I am beyond disappointed because you received a picture frame that called you a mentor. And an unbelievable and a true mentor, in my eyes, would not have went to this event. A true mentor would have made a stand and would have made sure that all her students were invited. A true mentor would have made sure that her so-called best friend, who gave her the opportunity to meet these children, because the truth is Marcella had taught these children for way more years and was way more of a mentor to them. I'm so tired of being quiet about all this because that is the absolute truth.
It was just really hurtful. And
let me just say one more thing.
Do it.
This mentor,
preach, sister.
This mentor saw the posts that Jolie had posted, and to date has not even had the decency to reach out to this 14-year-old teenage child that was obviously beyond hurt. I read to you what she said. Wouldn't a true mentor, even if she made a mistake and went to this event, then have stood up and said, you know what, let me contact my student? Because the truth is also, Jolie was her student that she had the longest.
Yeah.
She actually taught her when she was 4 years old. So wouldn't you then, as a true mentor, reach out and say, I really hate that your feelings were hurt. I should have made a different decision. All the kids that were left out, let's do something separate. We're talking about children.
Yeah,
like,
we're talking about children.
Like on a whole different level. Like to me, I'm like, I have always been a big believer if you fall for everything, No, wait, what is that?
Well,
Doesn't
it
fall
goes down
for
to when it's
anything,
good
you
for
stand for
you.
nothing.
You have to stand for something or you fall for everything.
Yeah.
No, she said it right. Say
No,
it one more
no.
time, Whitley. People are yelling.
If you fall for anything, you stand for nothing? Or I thought it
something-
was
yeah,
if you
or-
stand for something. I don't know,
Or
but
when
I know
I see the glass. I should know this. I see the glass half full, half empty.
You
Same
have
situation.
to stand for something or you will fall for everything.
anything.
That's what it
Yes.
is.
Funny, I said that
So-
to the guy that came to pick up the wash and dry. I said about falling, otherwise I'll fall flat on my face if I don't stand up, because the girl the other day was saying, I can't believe you're acting like this in front of your children. I was like, you bet your ass I'm acting like this in front of my children. I'm standing up for what's right, or I'm going to fall on my face.
Well, what's
And I'm gonna
interesting
teach
is
them.
Jolie said, Mom, have you texted that mom yet?
Yeah.
Have you written her an email yet? And I go, well, no, because I'm still kind of contemplating of what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, why would you? Why wouldn't you stand up for what they did to me and my sister?
Yeah.
And I
Aw.
thought, okay,
Mama
You
bear
know what?
card.
but you know what? I'm not going to write. I'm just going to have a podcast about it. How about that?
Yeah.
They might not hear it.
Oh, I'm going to send it to them. That's my plan. I'm going to send it, and I'm going to ask them to please listen to this episode.
But they don't have to. I think
They don't
you need
have
to
to.
write it. I honestly think you need to write a letter to Lisa. Sorry, you can cut that out. I think because that
I'll
doesn't-
write it too. That's fine.
I mean, to be honest, I'm being very honest. If somebody was like, "Listen to this that I said about you," I'd be like, "No, I'm not going to."
well, they
'Cause I
might
don't
not
have
read
to.
it either. So
But reading it, you have a better chance of like really
The
kind
text
of
comes across, they see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think-
Email,
I
whatever.
think writing is better for that. Second, for me personally, that was probably the most hurtful thing that it took me probably like 2 days to shake, because did I mean nothing to these people when I literally gave my life for these children that I loved like my own?
Mhm.
But this particular teacher, I guarantee if I was moving, I wouldn't get anything like that.
That's
Right.
what I
Because-
said to her.
which is
I
just
was
when-
like, did
and
she get
it's-
anything when she left?
No,
After
of course
10
not.
years?
No,
A
of course
decade?
not.
Well, it's
12
it's-
years.
More.
When
Oh,
Lucy,
yeah.
when
14 years.
When Lucy spoke, when Lucy finally opened up to me, it's so funny that this is what we're talking about, and just it's how God works, because it just this.
And you didn't know anything
No,
about it.
we didn't know anything about it a couple of weeks ago, and I was so proud that we were talking about this finally. And I told her, I said, I'm so sorry that those parents viewed you through me.
Oh.
Wow.
I am so very sorry that you got
Wow, Valerie.
shunned because of me. You got viewed through me, and that's so awful to do on a child. And then when I got hired at Prestige to build a baby program, I got looked at like I was like, you thought it was cross-eyed going on in there. Like, you have no idea what I'm capable of. And basically it was, I just posted this. Oh my gosh.
But it's the same.
the
Jolie
same-
got looked at because we were the studio owners or the studio
Yeah.
choreographers, so
And
whatever it is.
But yet, these people, I have the messages. These people loved me. I thought,
Yeah.
up until 2 days ago, I did not know that these people were upset with me, and they clearly are by doing what they did.
Well,
I have not heard from one of them, not a thank you, not nothing. And I am beyond devastated. And if that makes them happy, then congratulations.
Well, and I just posted, this was good for me yesterday, and I kind of stepped away from my daily readings, but the battle for control of your mind is fierce, and years of worry have made you vulnerable to the enemy. Therefore, you need to be vigilant in guarding your thoughts. Do not despise the weakness in yourself, since I am using you to draw you closer to me. So I knew, with that, I was like, okay, so maybe they saw me cross-eyed then, and you guys are receiving the pain that Lucianne and I felt since that whole incident went down that year with Jeff, when they were like, she's crazy, rehab. Yeah, okay, whatever. I was crazy. But you didn't stop to think what I've been through. And then when I got hired to try, it was like they were the enemy, working against me. It was hard to
and us.
I wanted to flip Prestige around and
Right.
get you guys out of Addison and over. And I knew I had the capability of it, but I swear to you that sin, that what we're talking about when stuff like that goes on, that is not a godly person.
No, I agree with
That
you.
is
1,000,000%.
not a godly person. You are not giving yourself and being kind to everyone And don't get me started on school shootings.
Oh.
Because there we go. You want to act like that and raise your kids like that? Okay.
Well, but I mean, this was obviously, very, very painful.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the post, it wasn't as painful for me. I saw the post. No, I knew. I was like, psh, whatever. That's normal. That doesn't surprise me one bit.
But
whatever. I'm not a part of that group.
But how sad is that is normal? Lucy was a part of that group.
Yeah, but we weren't a part of that group.
Why is that normal?
I think when it had happened, I was fuming, obviously, but it was interesting because I was with another, like a woman who has a younger daughter, and she was like, it's not just dance though. Like parents ruin everything.
Oh, that's the way. Yeah.
And it's so sad because it's like, unless something happens, like first of all, parents should never get involved in the kids' fights because that's ridiculous. You're just causing more problems.
The kids are over it in like 2 hours and parents still fighting years later.
So that happens. I think the parents who get so involved and like you literally ruin it for your kids, and then just people being judgmental, not kind, literally going back to what we said, like it's just interesting. Like there's no human kindness. Like there's that one quote, it's like let people leave you better than how they came. Like you should be touching people's lives and helping people. And if somebody is not acting themselves, like you, for instance, like hey, like, come, are you okay? Like what's going on? I even asked that to a mom not that long ago. I was like, you seem very grumpy. Like, are you okay? Yeah. Like in life, I don't think this is directed towards me because life, again, is very difficult. And it's like, I don't know, these people like to be mean, and maybe they were the mean girls in high school, and maybe they just love to be like that to people. I'll never understand it. If that's what makes them happy, congratulations. I will never be that person. Never.
Yeah.
Ever.
I posted this yesterday, and I didn't on Facebook, and I should. I'll say it. I don't think we're Instagram. Check yourself. Sometimes you are the toxic person, because I told you I've been struggling the last few weeks. I've had a short fuse. I'm like, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I need to look at myself for a minute and see what's going on. Sometimes you're the toxic person. Sometimes you are the mean, negative person you're looking to push away. Sometimes the problem is you, and that doesn't make you less worthy. Keep on growing. Keep on checking yourself. Keep on motivating yourself. Mistakes are opportunities. Look at them, own them, grow from them, and move on. Do better, be better. You're human. It's okay. Well, one of Troy's first thing to me was when I finally fell flat on my face after dating him for a while. He said, "I'm glad to know you're not superhuman."
Right, because none of us is perfect. And we get that. But these are decisions that these people are making. They're decisions. Like they're actually deciding, I'm going to put together a party and I'm going to purposefully not invite people. Like, how do you do that? I don't understand.
Always like, oh, with that person, or what about this part? Like, I'm over.
Me too. And so this is why this is mind-boggling. But I'm
sorry
gonna,
that y'all have been dealing with that.
I wanted to touch really quick because we're almost out of time. But I wanted to touch with mean people, evil people doing things, etc. Something so tragic happened yesterday that I couldn't shake at all. Bourdain Miller, who is a Olympic ski racer. Yeah. American Olympic ski racer.
Yeah, I've heard that.
His 19-month-old daughter died in an accidental drowning.
Stop. So cute.
At a neighbor's pool party.
Wife is pregnant also.
The wife is pregnant with their third child in October. The baby is due. This 19-month-old, it's so hard because they are getting really like attacked by
that. I'll never
everyone.
I had to leave when we were reading it. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
I mean, they were downright like attacked for negligence, and
it's hard for me. Nobody cares. I was like, what?
Yeah, they're going, well, at least they have one less or something. I mean, it's unbelievable, but I couldn't breathe because I read it and I saw it, and I don't think anyone knows this, but Gina almost drowned at that. I think I was a little bit younger at that age, and my mom was there. We were at a party too, and he was in the pool, and I think I told Marcella was there with her friends, and I was like, keep an eye, I have to go in the kitchen real quick. It was something really quick. Like I I'm the most overprotective parent in this whole entire universe.
Yes.
We all like,
Everyone knows this, and yet
But I'm getting more like that, so it's okay. I'm like, Rapunzel, let's lock you away.
and I just went in the kitchen really quick to get something, and next thing I know,
Happens fast.
that his dad, like, I remember pushing him people aside, and he jumped in the pool with his phone on and everything, and I mean, he saved his life that day. And I know how fast it can happen, and I am like always on overdrive at parties. My mom was there. She was there from Austria. She was visiting. Like, this was not like, our children were not like unsupervised.
Well, I was saying, so I think what people are writing, you almost, when you read it, you're like, how could you even think these horrendous? And I said, when she was reading them to me, I said, I'm actually sick to my stomach that this shows that there are so many nasty, mean people
that like wait to be mean.
that can't wait.
On purpose.
On
Well,
purpose.
I think just people want to express what they would do in a situation,
But you don't
way too much
know.
and too often, and you have no idea.
These people
No,
don't even
they-
express that. These people are downright
evil.
the evilest things you can imagine. Like, well, did they get enough to eat before
this
Yeah.
happened?
I feel
Like, it
sorry
was
for the
messed
person
up.
who had
That's
to fish out
awful.
that child.
It's like
These people lost a baby, and these people that I literally couldn't breathe. The more she read it, I was like, how in the world? And also, like, when you see little babies like swimming, it can take like 10 seconds. I feel like
Yeah.
they'll just.
Like, for me, it's such a big thing because it almost happened to me. And
I think the point is that it's sad to see such negative, hateful people in this world who can say such nasty things at a severe loss.
yeah.
That these people were not neglectful parents. You can
Gosh,
obviously it was an accident, and I think that people need to practice human kindness and to be more compassionate towards people and to not be
Sympathetic.
so
and
like,
not think that
like,
you know the answer.
the
and that
comments-
had it been you, this is what you would have done. That's
the
what
comments
gets
that were
me.
coming through, it took hours. Like, this was on TMZ, and they finally took them down. Like, some of them was so bad that
So
I
bad.
couldn't even, like, they were like acting like, oh, like this kid was bobbing in the water kind of thing. Like, it was
like that's
like,
a
I
fucked
cannot-
up person.
Yeah, right.
That is.
I mean, can you
awful.
imagine someone actually typed that?
I can't.
I'm
I,
telling
like-
you, I can't stand it when people like to say what they think they would have done or what they think they know when they've not been in the situation. I'm
but
telling
that's just plain disrespect
you,
towards
that's our society.
It's our society.
That's
We
the
are
problem,
not
period.
living in.
Yeah.
We have no old school values, no moral. Like it's awful.
I mean, awful. And some people, I mean, I know, people always, like, sometimes people are a certain way for a certain time of their life, and then they turn around. For some people, help people turn their life around. And I know that Bourdain Miller had some issues. He was kind of a wild guy and like a player, maybe you want to say, or whatever it is. And he had some issues, but it seems like since he has married his wife, he has turned his life around. He's a super engaged dad, and I mean, they're super close. She is such an amazing mom. You can just see it. I don't know them personally, but you can see a lot on social media and everything, and they were great parents. And just the simple fact that this baby is gone, like, they went to a party and they didn't expect this to happen. They went to a neighbor's party, something obviously happened, and this baby drowned. This woman now is carrying another child. The drama, the stress on this family is just unbelievable. And for people to actually
how can
say
people act
things,
like that? She's pregnant. Leave her alone. What are they?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Harm the new baby?
they're gonna
that
make it
she's
worse. Yes, imagine
making
if
it
you're
her
reading
stress.
this. I mean, then they're saying that they're gonna lose all their kids because they're negligent parents. Like, it's just
It's so stupid.
out of control and crazy. And I mean, we always end every show with a lesson, and we didn't even get close to some of the things we wanted to talk about, but we're going to talk about some of this
That's
thing is not
terrible.
forgotten. We're going to
No.
talk about this next week. There's a very important
family
stuff.
drama. It's pretty funny.
Family drama of ours that happened that is probably going to take up a whole entire show, and we're going to discuss that next time. But we are going to want to end with a lesson.
Okay, I don't think anyone should be able to use someone's past against them.
Absolutely not.
And don't be so quick to judge. That's mine for
And
everybody.
be kind to everyone.
kind,
Be
yeah.
nicer. Include people. Don't leave people out.
Yeah.
Adults, be kind to children.
You know,
Like, that's so many lessons
That's sad
today.
that's a lesson. Like,
No,
hey, 40-year-old, be nice to a 10-year-old. Like,
one of the things that makes me feel better as a person when I get down and out and I'm not doing good is to start giving, because the feeling
That's
of
what they say.
giving gives me, it makes me feel so good. And I'm like, oh, I did something so good. Like, I love their reaction, the way that they feel, what I did.
But your lesson in this is help people. Be nice.
kind.
Be kind. Do nice things, not
You have
mean
no-
things. Don't be
yeah.
a mean girl at your age,
Why?
please. Don't.
At any age.
at any age.
I don't
Don't
give a
be a
shit
bitch.
if you're 14.
It makes
yeah.
you such a toxic person, and it makes everything
Yeah.
else in your life so difficult.
No, because
Mean
it's
girl
not gonna get you
behavior
friends.
is not okay at any age. If you're in high
Any-
school, don't be a mean girl. You don't know what you're doing to other people. Don't be a mean girl at 12. I don't give a fuck how old you are. 40,
Agree.
80.
Yeah.
There is no excuse to be mean
No
to people.
excuse.
Never, ever, ever. If anybody feels like I have been mean to them, for no reason, I'd like them to come forward, because I think that I try daily to be kind to people. And when people are assholes, it is, you obviously are miserable in your own life. So
Yeah. I have so many moms from prestige and dance industry that I'm still Facebook friends with. And I'm like, you don't think I don't see you don't like my post?
Oh,
Like,
right.
You're
That's
clearly
my
watching
favorite.
me from afar. Like, go ahead, keep on watching.
That's my
You've not been
favorite.
nice to me, but you were nice to me. But as soon as the shit hit the fan, suddenly you don't want anything to do with me.
Yeah.
I mean,
when you
come
look at
on.
it though, why not?
Like, why? Why are we gonna sit here and?
Crazy.
Oh,
Let's go on and on and on and on. We
Yeah,
gotta wrap
yeah,
up. We
yeah.
gotta wrap up.
I know.
Okay,
Sorry.
so-
Hour and a half.
Anyway,
We ended with a lesson. So if you enjoy our show, please take a moment to leave us a review and please subscribe so you'll always be the first to know of the newest episodes. And please check out our website, Posh Boutique, and get yourself something cute to wear. And our new collection should be on there in a week or two. So
Hopefully.
yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
thank you.